we're diving into something fundamental yet often overlooked: effective communication. Whether in our personal lives or professional environments, how well we communicate can be the difference between success and failure, harmony and conflict. So, how do we get it right? It all comes down to 4 essential steps. The first step is ensuring clarity. Imagine trying to solve a puzzle without seeing the picture on the box. Confusing, right? That's exactly what happens when we communicate unclearly. It's crucial to know exactly what you want to say before you say it. This means organizing your thoughts and choosing words that are simple and precise. Avoid jargon and ambiguity, and remember, less is often more. Communication is a two-way street. If you're only focused on speaking, you're not truly communicating. Active listening is about paying attention not just to words, but also to the feelings behind them. Nod, maintain eye contact, and don't interrupt. When we listen to understand rather than respond, we foster trust and empathy. A message is only as effective as its receiver's understanding. After conveying your thoughts, ensure they're understood as intended. How? By seeking feedback. Ask questions like, "Does that make sense?" Or, "Do you have any questions?" Feedback isn't just about clarification. It also validates the listener's perspective, making communication more inclusive. Emotions can be the silent influencers in any conversation. Being aware of your own emotions and those of others helps you navigate sensitive topics with care. A calm tone, empathetic words, and positive body language can diffuse tension and make your message more receptive. These 4 steps, clarity of message, active listening, feedback and confirmation, and emotional intelligence, form the foundation of effective communication. But remember, communication isn't just about words. It's about understanding, connection, and influence. Imagine receiving a text that says, "We need to talk." Instantly, your mind races. About what? Is it good or bad? This confusion happens because the message lacks clarity. In communication, being clear isn't just about the words we choose, but also about the intention behind them. Clarity of message means knowing exactly what you want to convey before you speak. It requires organizing your thoughts and choosing words that are simple and precise. When we overload our speech with jargon, complicated terms, or unnecessary details, the main point gets lost. Instead, aim to be direct and concise. For example, instead of saying, "We might want to consider exploring the possibility of a meeting to discuss potential challenges," simply say, "Let's meet to discuss challenges." Notice how the second version is not only shorter, but also clearer. Clarity doesn't just prevent misunderstandings, it also saves time and builds credibility. When people understand you easily, they're more likely to trust you and engage with your ideas. So, before you speak or write, ask yourself, what is the core message I want to communicate? And how can I express it as simply as possible? Being clear doesn't mean being blunt. It means respecting your listener's time and attention. It's the first and perhaps the most important step to effective communication. Communication isn't just about speaking, it's about listening, truly listening. Too often, we listen to respond rather than to understand. We're busy crafting our reply while the other person is still talking, and in doing so, we miss the essence of their message. Active listening is about giving your full attention, not just to the words, but also to the emotions behind them. It means being present, maintaining eye contact, and resisting the urge to interrupt. When you listen to understand, you're not just hearing words, you're understanding perspectives, feelings, and intentions. Take a moment to reflect. How often do you genuinely listen without judgment or the need to immediately give advice? Active listening requires patience and empathy. It's about validating the speaker's thoughts, even if you don't agree with them. A powerful tool in active listening is the use of reflective responses. For example, phrases like, "I hear you saying," or "It sounds like you're feeling," show that you're not only listening, but also processing the information. This encourages the speaker to open up and communicate more deeply. Active listening builds trust and strengthens relationships. It makes people feel valued and understood, and when people feel heard, they're more likely to listen in return. This mutual respect transforms conversations into meaningful connections. Have you ever said something in anger that you later regretted, or misinterpreted someone's words because of your own mood? This is where emotional intelligence comes into play. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and manage not only your own emotions, but also the emotions of others. It's about being aware of how feelings influence communication. Emotions are powerful. They can enhance or distort a message, depending on how they're managed. Imagine receiving feedback from a colleague. If you're already feeling stressed, you might perceive even constructive criticism as an attack. On the other hand, if you're calm and open, you're more likely to accept the feedback positively. This shows how your emotional state can influence your interpretation of messages. Similarly, being aware of others' emotions allows you to communicate more effectively. If someone seems upset or defensive, choosing a gentle tone and empathetic words can make a huge difference. Simple phrases like, "I understand how you feel," or "Let's find a solution together," can diffuse tension and build rapport. Emotional intelligence isn't about suppressing emotions, but about expressing them appropriately. It means pausing before reacting, choosing words mindfully, and being considerate of the other person's emotional state. It's about responding, not reacting. Mastering emotional intelligence helps you navigate difficult conversations with empathy and respect. It builds trust, reduces misunderstandings, and enhances the impact of your communication. After all, people may forget what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. So, the next time you communicate, be mindful of emotions, both yours and others. It's not just about what you say, but how you make others feel that truly matters. Emotions are at the heart of every conversation. They shape not only what we say, but also how we say it and how our words are received. Emotional intelligence is the skill of being aware of emotions, both yours and others, and managing them wisely to communicate effectively. Imagine delivering great news with a flat, indifferent tone. Even the most exciting message can fall flat if the emotion doesn't match the words. Conversely, if you're upset and let that emotion dominate your tone, even neutral statements can come off as harsh. This shows how emotions influence the delivery and interpretation of messages. Emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness, recognizing your own emotional state before you speak. Are you feeling stressed, excited, or frustrated? Understanding this helps you control your tone and words, ensuring your message is delivered as intended. Equally important is empathy. Being sensitive to the emotions of others. If you notice someone is anxious or upset, adjusting your approach to be more considerate and supportive can make your message more effective. It's about connecting, not just communicating. Emotional intelligence also involves managing emotional triggers. In heated discussions, for instance, staying calm and composed helps prevent escalation. It allows you to listen empathetically, respond thoughtfully, and maintain respect, even in disagreement. This skill isn't about hiding emotions, but about expressing them in a balanced and constructive way. Statements like, "I feel concerned about," rather than "you always," help convey emotions without sounding accusatory. It invites open dialogue instead of defensive reactions. Mastering emotional intelligence enhances not only how you express yourself, but also how you're perceived. It builds trust, diffuses conflicts, and makes others feel understood. In the end, it's not just about what you communicate, but the emotional impact you leave behind. Communication isn't just about words. In fact, studies show that a large portion of our communication is nonverbal. Our body language, facial expressions, gestures, and even the tone of our voice all convey powerful messages, sometimes more strongly than words themselves. Imagine someone saying, "I'm fine," while avoiding eye contact and crossing their arms. Despite the words, their body language suggests they're anything but fine. This is the power of nonverbal cues. They can support, amplify, or completely contradict what we're saying. Nonverbal communication begins with awareness. Are you maintaining eye contact to show attentiveness and confidence? Is your posture open and relaxed, signaling approachability? Even subtle cues like nodding can encourage the speaker and show you're engaged. Facial expressions are especially revealing. A smile can convey warmth and positivity, while a frown can indicate concern or disapproval. The key is ensuring your facial expressions align with your words. For example, delivering praise with a serious face can send mixed signals, leaving the listener confused. Gestures and movement also play a role. Purposeful gestures can emphasize key points, making your message more dynamic and memorable. However, excessive or erratic movements can be distracting. Even the distance you maintain, too close or too far, affects how your message is received, influencing perceptions of trust and comfort. Tone of voice is another powerful nonverbal cue. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. Your pitch, volume, and pace can convey enthusiasm, urgency, or even skepticism. A calm, steady voice builds credibility, while a shaky or rushed tone can signal nervousness or uncertainty. Mastering nonverbal communication means ensuring consistency between your words and actions. When verbal and nonverbal cues align, your message becomes more believable and impactful. On the other hand, contradictions like smiling while delivering bad news can confuse your audience and damage your credibility. Imagine explaining a complex idea to a group of experts versus a room full of beginners. Would you use the same words, tone, or examples? Probably not. That's because effective communication isn't just about what you say, but how you tailor your message to your audience. This is the essence of adaptability. Adaptability means being flexible in your communication style to ensure better understanding and connection. It's about knowing your audience, understanding their needs, expectations, and background. Are they looking for detailed technical explanations or a high-level overview? Do they prefer formal language or a conversational tone? For instance, when speaking to a group of professionals, using industry jargon might be appropriate and efficient, but the same jargon could confuse and alienate a general audience. Adapting your language, examples, and level of detail makes your message more relatable and easier to grasp. Adaptability also involves adjusting your emotional tone. If your audience is anxious or upset, adopting a calm and reassuring tone can help ease tension. Conversely, if they're excited or enthusiastic, matching their energy keeps them engaged. Listening and observing are key to adaptability. Pay attention to nonverbal cues. Are people nodding and understanding, or do they look puzzled? Are they engaged or distracted? These signals help you gauge if your message is landing as intended or if you need to adjust your approach. Medium of communication matters too. Complex ideas might require detailed emails or presentations, while quick updates can be shared through a brief message or call. Choosing the right channel enhances the clarity and impact of your message. But adaptability doesn't mean being inauthentic. It's about being considerate and effective. It's about maintaining your core message while delivering it in a way that resonates with your audience. This flexibility not only enhances understanding, but also builds trust and credibility. In today's diverse world, one-size-fits-all communication simply doesn't work. Mastering adaptability allows you to connect with different people in different situations with ease and confidence. So, remember, effective communication isn't rigid. It's about shaping your message to meet the listener where they are.